Welcome to Stitches and Sundries Flosstube. Hi, Flosstube. I'm Lauren, and you can find me on Instagram at LaurenUpStitching. I'm recording this on May 1st, and this is episode 37. Oh, look at me remembering all the numbers. So I'm Lauren. This is a podcast about cross-stitch and projects and life and stuff, things, whatever I think of at the time. Tea sometimes. And it's been 2 weeks since I last recorded. I think I've been doing okay on the schedule. I've been trying to keep up with it. And since the last time I recorded, I have gotten a lot done, which is nice. So I have finished today and two whip updates. We didn't get as much as I wanted done because we have been running a lot lately. We went out of town with my dad for the first trip with my dad since I was very young. We have not done just me, my sister, and him have not really done anything that lasts more than a day in a really long time. So it was a really nice trip. We went down to Winchester, Virginia. I wanted to call it Winchesterville. We went down to Winchester, Virginia to do Shenandoah Valley and a bunch of historical stuff, which we all love. And it was just a really nice trip, but I was exhausted the whole time. The night before, I don't know, I just kept thinking about packing a laptop. Do not ask me why. Really didn't need a laptop. It was something that would be nice to have, but I didn't need a laptop for a single night, a single overnight. But I just kept thinking about it, and my brain would not let it shut the hell up. And so I got no sleep, zero sleep. And thought, well, I'll sleep in the car ride. Nope. I needed to navigate. I was the navigator, so I couldn't sleep. So I was just really tired. So as soon as we got downtime in the hotel, I had brought projects to work on. I just fell asleep. I just conked out for 12 hours. So that was good. So I didn't get quite as much done on that trip. I thought I'll stitch in the car. I get really bad motion sickness, but usually if I take Dramamine and I'm careful, I can do it. I was I'll stitch in the car. I'll have all this time. No, not at all. And weekends are usually where I make a lot of progress because I work. And then we went yesterday on April 30th, we went to the Maple Festival in Myersdale, PA, which was super fun. We went with a couple friends, my awesome friends, Mary and Ruth. And we just had a really nice day. It was just a really good day of just walking around and going to craft shows and a quilt show and just talking with some of my favorite people. So it was just really nice. But again, that was all day. We went for the whole day, and it was but it was worth it. I love hanging out with people. I will hang out with people if you give me any opportunity. Other than that, I've been doing a lot of stitching, having really good, work is going really super well right now, and that is a relief. I've had conversations with work colleagues because when I was really feeling down in February and March, it was pretty much all of February and early March, I after I kind of came out of that, I was I am so sorry. I have been such a lax person. I know I haven't been getting my work done. I feel terrible. And they're what are you talking? I think you might be confused. You were totally here. You were answering questions. You were being on the ball with everything. I don't know what you're talking about. And I was oh, apparently my body just functions. My brain was busy with other things. So that was nice to hear that I wasn't completely out of it the whole time. But now that things are going really well, it feels that imposter syndrome hits you hard sometimes, where you're that meme where you fluctuate like a metronome. It's I'm a dumbass. Please don't fire me. I'm a genius. Please give me a raise. I'm a dumbass. That was me for a little while. So it hits hard when it hits. So, but one thing I do not feel bad about ever I did a little bit this morning, and I'll explain why, is cross stitch, because I love it. So, little cross stitch witches. So I have some cross stitch project updates, and I'm also like red from the sun yesterday. I feel like a beet, but it was so worth it. We walked around tiny Maurer-Stroh and talked about all the houses we would buy. Like it's like an old, like settlement town. So it's got old houses, like really cool old houses. So we were like, it's all like, there's some like traditional German architecture. Like if you've ever seen the like laughing beams where it's like the white with the black beams. That is there, but also like really fancy architecture, and so it was like, ooh, so it was just neat to walk around. And they had horse and buggy rides, which was super nice. But anyway, cross stitch. So I have a finish just in time for to take this into the office. I have finished May. Finished May. This is a free pattern by Maurer-Stroh. It's free on her website. And she's got one of these little flower motifs for each month. This is May, and it's Lily of the Valley. I stitched this. God, criminy, the cat hair. I don't know if you guys will get to see or hear. My lovely cat Dusty has come out of her hole. I have to pet her. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Hello, my lovely baby. But her cat hair is all over my black fabric because of course it is. But I stitched this on 28 count black, I think it's Jobelin, which I'm still learning what the differences are between like Jobelin and even weave and Lugana and all that stuff. But I think this is Jobelin because the like the weave is weird. The weave is odd. Like if you're trying to count a stitch, which of course it's black too, so it's a little hard. It's just a little awkward. It's just a little harder than it has to be. Too bad I have almost yards of this stuff, and I'm going to be using more of it soon. So I'm just going to keep using it. But yeah, I finished this up. I got it on my sticky board. And this morning, the thing I was like, oh, sometimes I hate cross stitch. I'm not hate cross stitch, but I'm just upset by it, is I needed to paint my sticky board black. Well, that means I can't use the sticky part of it. If you have to paint it black, it doesn't work. So I had to paint it black so that it wouldn't shine through this black fabric. Too bad. And then getting it to line up and be perfectly square, like I even now can see like I need to like pull and finagle to get the square to be crisp, was like really hard without that ability to stick it down. So because every time you moved it or pulled or tugged, it was like pulling it out of alignment. So I highly recommend the sticky board technique. I use the tutorial by the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. They did an awesome one with, I think, the Fat Quarter Shop. I'll link it below. Super great tutorial, super great method of doing this. But if you can't use the stick, it doesn't work as quite as well. So I'm looking for different techniques. Also, my corners are never quite crisp enough for me, so I'm working on improving my technique for finishing these. But I've got June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Gonna redo January, and I gotta do March. I got 9 more to try on. I got 9. That's plenty. So yeah, these are really cute. I like them. So that one's all done. There's my ugly hot glue background. As you can see, I didn't use the sticky side of things. Got my little loop to hang at my desk. So this one's done, and I will be starting, I'll kit up June, knowing me, probably about mid-May. I'll like realize half the month is gone and be like, oh, I really should get on that so I have it for the next month. I'm really good about that. So yeah, I'm super happy with that. Happy to have that one done. It takes me about, if I, excluding weekends where I obviously get a lot more done, it takes me about 10 evenings. So that's, I mean, that's like, it's not huge, but it's not also not an insignificant amount of time in the month. You know, a third of my month is spent on one project. That's a little rough, but sorry, I need to stop talking as much. So my next WIP update, you know, I'm gonna do this one next. So this is one, oh, she forgot to take it out of plastic. Sorry, crinkles are gonna happen. That wasn't terrible. This is one I talked about starting last time, so it's technically a new start, but you guys knew about it. This is the Schoolhouse Sampler by Stoney Creek. It's from a old magazine, 1992. I'm trying to get the freaking focus. And it will not. Great. Don't know why that's doing that, but it is super cute. I'm doing it as a gift. It is my gift stitch. And I got it started. Got all the stuff kitted up for it one evening, which was super nice, and got a little start. So one thing that's very nice, and I don't know if I'm sure they planned this, is that the top of the tower is like very nearly the center, so you get to like, ooh, have something right away. So that's my little start on the Schoolhouse. And I do, as you can kind of see as I go down the side there, I am a cross country, I guess they call it, stitcher. So I will just go until the thread is gone. But I do have one rule for myself, which is you can never jump more than 5 spaces. If I have to jump more than 5 spaces, there's too great a risk of me miscounting. So if I have to jump more than 5 spaces, I'll cut. But I'm really happy with that. When I started this, I was like, ooh, that is I can't get it in Pattern Keeper. I tried and I tried and I tried. I just can't. It just doesn't line up properly. You can't take a good enough photo. The symbols are they're like made to look handwritten, and they're just too squishy for Pattern Keeper to pick up. Dusty, don't you dare. Somebody wants attention. So she's being, no, Dusty. Get over here. Come here, old woman. I apologize. I had to yell. But somebody's being very terrible and is scratching at the door frames. Come here. I'm having to pet. I apologize. Cat break. Yes, you're being very bad. But there are a lot of color changes. Like in that roof alone, I don't know if you can see in that shadow back there, lots of little color changes to make that fade. And at first I was like, oh, that's a lot of color changes. And then I started to see the effect. And I was like, I see what you did there. And I approve. So it's totally worthwhile for me for that really beautiful fade effect in the roofing and the shadows and everything. And it's part of the whole piece, so I'm going to definitely be doing more of it. Come here. But it goes really seamlessly, pretty okay. It's not a hard thing to follow along with. It is just a frustrating thing to not have Pattern Keeper there with this many color changes. Like that is how I keep myself straight, you know. But instead I have a PDF that I'm like marking off as I go. Plus I have to have the paper pattern because the PDF, I can't keep referencing the PDF easily for the symbols. Plus my tags with all my symbols on it. It's just kind of a lot. But I am loving the result. So, however, this one is going to be going away for just briefly, not a crazy amount of time. Oh, I meant to tell you, this finally came. I had to special order this because I couldn't find it at my local stitchery. Blending Filament. This will be my first time stitching with this stuff. This is Pearl. This is Blending Filament in Pearl. And a lot of stitches call for this held twice with a single strand of thread. So very glittery and very light. This is a lot of the background stuff that is like supposed to be like faded in the distance. So that is a really cool way to do that. So I'm excited to try it. I've never worked, I have done a little bit of stuff with just braid, where you literally just stitch with braid, and it's like, it's thicker, so it's a little harder to work with, a little more wiry. I'm hoping this doesn't have the same kind of drawbacks, same kind of like fight or just like annoyances to it. I'm hoping that because it's so fine, it's just, you know, it's a little easier. But yeah, I've never worked with blending filament, so that's a fun thing I'm going to try. So yeah, that is really cool. But this one's actually going to go away for just briefly, just through the month of May, because the Halloween cross stitch challenge group on Facebook, which is run by the awesome Anna Stitches Autumn, who I'll link below. They are doing Hallo-Mania, which I think is such a fun thing. So every weekend in May, you have to either start or choose one of your Halloweenish whips, either start a new Halloweenish project or work on a Halloweenish whip. And I think you're supposed to like choose it, I think just for that Sunday, but I think it's supposed to go through the week. And then you end up at the end with either a completed project with you working on a whip, or 4 new starts, or whatever you kind of like mix and match decide to do. And it's such a cool thing to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. It starts today. I'm recording this on May 1st, so it starts today, and it will go every Sunday for 4 Sundays. And yeah, it's going to be super fun. So I'm putting this project aside because it's not going to be Hallo-Mania enough. I need more spooky in my life. So then thinking about what I'm going to be doing for Hallo-Mania is I'm going to be finishing some whips. I'm going to be finishing one whip, and that's my next whip. So this will probably be today. Like, this will be the whip I choose for today. And that is, pull up my little thing. This is one you've seen before, and that is a Stitcher Haunts Here by the Witchy Stitcher. So this is, I'm doing this on 14 count oatmeal Aida, and I've made some progress since you last saw it. There we go. And this is going to be my first of my 4 projects for Hallo-Mania. And dun dun dun. So I have, since you last saw it, I finished up this section of the siding, like all this light gray siding is done now. I did the, there's like a dormer in the roof with a circular window, so I got that started there. Finished up getting this one window in, finished those pumpkins down there. So I made pretty good progress on this time. I think I'm about 1/3 done. So this should not be crazy to finish off. There's definitely some roof up above here that's going to be a little bit more stuff to do, and the wording down below. But I'm really making progress on it. I really like this one. I think it's just a fun stitch. It goes by very quickly. I'm doing it on 14 count, which I usually work on 28, which technically isn't supposed to really be any different. But there is 14 just like goes like nothing. Like you're like, oh my gosh, so easy, so clear, so nothing to think about. You just whip it out. And so it's nice to have projects in different counts and different fabric types that make life just, you know, it's like, oh, okay, now I'm in a completely different mode. Like, this is like easy mode. This is just like whip through it. You're happy. You're making progress. The X's are nice and big. You just feel like you're making progress. This is, I'll just get this back out. This is my like comfort mode. I am comfortable. I am stitching on what I like. The X's are consistent. The weave is clear and like easy to see. everything is happening, but it is, but it's just like, you're just comfortable. It's crazy easy, but you're not crazy hard. This is like work. This you have to think about. You have to like I said, the weave is a little weird. It's technically 28 count, same as this, but they're just a completely different way of weaving. Like this is almost woven on the diagonal. I don't know. It's odd. And so it is just a little more also it's black. It's just a little more concentration. And so to have that like back and forth of stuff is nice. It's really nice to have that that like variety in your life. I remember my friend Devin, when we were making our year-end goals, was talking about always having, she knits, and when she was talking about always having something on the hook, on the needles, that were of different yarn types, so like fingering weight versus a worsted weight hat versus, you know, and that was like her way of doing basically the same thing. I think we all need that, just like give our brain a rest sometimes. So yeah, so that is my first whip for Hallo-Mania. My second, it might be my second week whip, is going to be the Cryptid Sal. I have not worked on it again. I wanted to get to it this week, and just like stuff kept coming up, and I didn't get any good stitching done in the evenings this week. So the Cryptid Stitch Along by the Witchy Stitcher is my next, is also going to be part of my Hallo-Mania. So I'm hoping to have good progress on that. I'm hoping to work on it for the whole week. Then my next one, and somewhere in here, obviously I gotta fit in June so that I can have June for my, somebody needs attention. She is desperate. I gotta fit June in so I have it for my desk and at the office. But I'll fit that in. The next one, and I'll put in pictures for all these. There's nothing over there. This little tail. You're gonna fall and kill yourself. This is an eventful podcast. Nothing usually happens, and all of a sudden she's like, I literally need to like kill myself. I'm keeping an eye out on her as she explores. But then I'm gonna have 2 new starts, so I'm doing mix and match. So I am going to start, and I meant to print pictures, but I forgot, so I'll put them in here. I'm going to be starting, oh no, I have my tablet. I brought my tablet specifically for this. What are you doing, Dust? That's Dusty Rose, everybody. The most adventurous of the adventure cats. She's little and round, and she thinks she has to go under this. What are you doing, little round one? But, so let me get my tablet up here. All right, so the first one I am going to be starting is another witch. They're both Witchy Stitcher. I have a bunch. And when I think of like what I want, like she's the first thing that comes to mind. There's like 100 other, she just put out a blog post of all these awesome, spooky or just that vibe designers, and they're all awesome. I have stuff bookmarked, but I just went to her stuff, so I hope she's not tired of seeing me. I don't think that happens, does it? People get tired of seeing you. Love their stuff. So the first one I am doing is called Witch's Brew by the Witchy Stitcher. I got this one. Oh, come back over here. So cute. So cute. It's got a little tea bag. Perfect. This one is, I got in the Death Before Decaf pack. Not subscription box. She did a limited edition box. That's what it is. A limited edition box. And in it included a bunch of coffee and tea patterns, which was really cool. and I'm a huge tea drinker, so I'm going to put that in my kitchen. I know exactly where it's going because my sister has a, just like a little picture thing that says, oh, what does it say? It says like wake up and grind, and it's a coffee themed thing because she likes coffee. So I'll just put my tea one right next to hers. So the other one is actually a gift I've been meaning to start for my sister. And I've had this on my list, I think since I joined the Halloween Challenge Facebook group like 2 years ago. I was like, this is going to be one of my Halloweenish finishes. We have to wait. This podcast is a mess. You have not been helping either. Tablet hates me. There it goes. Doo-doo-doo-doo. This is the Candyman pattern by the Witchy Stitcher. My sister loves slasher movies. She loves horror movies. She loves everything to do with it. And she actually has a collection of that kind of memorabilia and pop culture stuff in her office. And so I was like, that's perfect. As soon as I saw it, when she released it, I think she released it with the remake movie. And I was like, okay, that's going to go. Sarah will love that. And it's not saying anything bad about it, but it's colorful. There's not about 700 yards of DMC 310. So I was excited about it. And when I decided to do this Hallo-Mania, I was like, you know what? I've been meaning to start it. I want to start it. Let's do it. So that is going to be my second start. So those are my 4 Hallo-Mania projects. I hope I get really good progress out of that. I hope I'm able to keep up with it and participate the way I want. Life happens though. Things happen and you just kind of can't. But those are my plans. We'll keep our fingers crossed. So tell me below if you are going to participate in anything. Tell me if you have gotten anything really cool. I've seen some people doing really awesome limited edition boxes or subscription boxes lately. If you've gotten anything cool like that, tell me what's been going on. Tell me what you're doing for, are you doing Hallo-Mania? Are you doing, I know the regular original Mania is kind of not, it lives on in spirit. It doesn't live on in actuality anymore, but a lot of people still do Mania. So tell me what you're doing. Like, it's time. Spring is here. We're all ready to go. We've all got energy, maybe. So tell me about it. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. And I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.